Hey y'all, hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to give you a little tour of Tumbleweed. For those of you unfamiliar with it, Tumbleweed is one of several towns in Newisle World. It's a small desert town to the far north of the main city of Newisle and has been part of the map since 2011, so very early on. Tumbleweed's become a bit of a fan favorite because of its desert setting, and it recently got a facelift as part of my upcoming release of Newisle version 1.3. So, Tumbleweed fans, I hope these changes aren't controversial, as the town is adopting more of a modern-day Arizona vibe as opposed to a desert frontier town, which it kind of started off as. So let's dive right into it and explore some of these changes. The most immediate one you might notice right off the bat is that the streetscape has changed up a little bit. So I've got some dark concrete powder as the road material rather than the cracked stone bricks that I had before. So another little addition to make it feel a bit more modern as opposed to the frontier town that it started off as. You'll also see trees have been added around various parts of the town, and they have more of a palm tree vibe rather than the old jungle trees that had been a part of it, at least in a limited basis. It is a desert town, so there isn't too much in the way of vegetation. On the right over here, you'll see I've added what might prove to be one of the more controversial additions, is a modern house. So I started looking up desert architecture of single-story and single-family homes, and I added this modern house here as well, because I figured Tumbleweed needs at least one well-off person, or one well-off turtle, because this turtle seems to have claimed the pool for its own, so if you're playing on Tumbleweed and want to claim this house, you might have some competition. Look out for the turtle. I've heard he is a bit of a dick. The next things you'll see are a few additional houses, so I've added a few ranch-style homes, another single-story, single-family addition over here and over here. So really kind of keeping with my materials that I've been working with as of recently. Next, you'll see that I've added the mandatories that I explored before in my previous videos. So you'll see this is a police station and this is a fire station. So really adding those kind of real world buildings that'll make Tumbleweed feel like more of a real setting as opposed to just like a train station and a couple of businesses. So check that out. These are all fully furnished as well, and they're another one of those additions that are coming to each and every one of the existing towns in Newisle World. You'll see a few new platforms have been added to the existing train station as well, so that's keeping in with my regional express rail updates. So you'll be able to travel between not only the main city of Newisle, but also the town of Stillwater, which is coming up, as well as the town of Briar Valley, which is right next door over yonder. So you see that I've kept the ranches that I had before as well. So the existing builds, apart from one crappy set of apartment blocks, have been kept in the latest iteration of Tumbleweed, and what you know and love is mostly still here. You'll see that I actually did keep the stone brick format for some of the existing streets over here. So this is downtown Tumbleweed, and I've kind of given it the modern name of the T. You'll see that these streets are kind of in the shape of a T, hence why it has that hipsterish sort of name. So this is the upgraded downtown Tumbleweed, and it's just received a little bit of streetscaping. I didn't do too much in the way of updates to it. You'll see I've also added a medical center here, which is in with that modern vibe and modern style, so much less frontier town. Here there seems to be a party of some sort going on, and they seem to be kind of respecting social distancing a bit, so I guess I won't report them. You'll see I've also added a new set of bridges over here, with this one being a covered bridge and that one being more of a stone brick style. And here you'll see that I've added what I've called Topaz Public School. So every town is getting a school, or at least a schoolhouse. I chose to give Tumbleweed more of a full-fledged school rather than a schoolhouse. And you'll see that that's represented with the classrooms here. There's a cafeteria and a library as well, and a gymnasium over to the back, as well as a playground, and a big tree for the students to hide under because it gets really hot in the desert, I'm sure. Over here you'll also see I've added a water tower because I thought that would be a cool feature to Tumbleweed, being a desert town and all. So you can hop up there and use it as a bit of an observation deck using the ladder over here and get a lay of the land. Back here, you'll also notice I did some landscaping as well. So I had fun with this. I actually went into Amulet Editor, which is kind of the successor to MC Edit, and I put a whole bunch of rectangular blocks around here with sand, and then I used dynamite to blow it up and give it this textured look, which was a lot of fun. So I thought Tumbleweed could use a bit more in the way of sand dunes and scenery, so I added that as well. You'll see over here, this is the rail line that leads over to Briar Valley, so you can hop aboard of the train over at Tumbleweed Central Station and head over there and check out Briar Valley. Last but not least, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the prison, because that's been a recent addition as well, and a bit of a favorite in terms of my new builds, a personal favorite of mine. So I'm going to give you a quick look of that, and then we'll end off the video. I figure this is pretty worthwhile to include because Tumbleweed is very close to the prison, and whatever citizens are over there probably work in the prison as well. So you'll see this prison addition is pretty tight. You'll start off in kind of an administration area and a civilian area. There's a visitation center over here where you can go talk to a prisoner. Of course, being separated with windows, barriers. And then there's lots of points that say prison personnel only behind this point. You'll see there's a lot of button access to ways as well. There's an exercise yard, and for some reason there's a bunch of cats that have taken over. They might be prisoners and they might be in a gang, I don't know, but I'm going to stay away because they seem kind of scary to me. So back inside the prison into the interiors, you'll find there's a bit of a communication section here to be able to talk to the administration folks. There's a cafeteria with its own separate entrance. And I'm just going to be unhygienic and hop over stuff like that. I also hear meowing, so those dangerous gang cats might be in here as well. So you'll see a bunch of seating here in the cafeteria. Down here, there's another floor with a dedicated dangerous offenders ward, where these dangerous offenders are actually kept behind these barriers. So you'll see there's prisoners in here. There's Whiskers McClaw, the most dangerous offender that seems to have escaped, or somewhere around here. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get attacked by a cat. And then there's this guy who seems to be tunneling out of prison. Good luck, buddy. Back to the corridor out here, you'll see a bit more in the way of interior work. I've added showers as well, and toilets that appear to be very dark and ominous, and I don't want to step into that. There's a medical center as well, and the computers seem to be floating and being weird because I developed in Java Edition and this is Bedrock. And then you can see a few phone booths over here. There's also a second floor to this prison complex as well, where I've added a library, kind of an observation deck for that trapped guy that was in one of my earlier videos. And there's kind of a general population ward as well, where there's 2 prisoners to a cell and bunk beds. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of Tumbleweed in the state prison. If you want to check this out for yourself, you can hop on the Discord channel and check out my pre-release download section, where you'll be able to check out the updated Tumbleweed and the Newisle State Prison as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and hope you have a great rest of your day.